Hey guys, it's time for some science. Just so you guys know, with science, we're going to be doing science lessons. There's just going to be one lesson posted a week, about 30 minutes of class time or projects and things like that that we're going to be working on. This week, we're going to be learning about light. And so I've got some activities that you can try. Really, what I want you guys to do is I want you to explore some of the features of light. I want you to have fun with it. What things do you notice about light? And I've got a couple things that I want to point out to you, some things that you can try at home. And let me just show you. I've got a flashlight here. It's a pretty strong flashlight and not as bright as the sun. It's kind of crazy how it messes with the colors. We've learned a little bit about light when we were talking about the sun, earth, and moon, because the sun, of course, is one of our light. It's our light source here on Earth, and the moon is just reflecting light. And that's something that we can talk about. Reflecting is like, you can kind of see it in my glasses, but what happens is light will come to certain surfaces and it'll bounce off and it'll come and change directions. So if you're using light in a mirror, I should have brought a mirror. I wish I had a mirror. Maybe we'll take a field trip. If I shine a light in a mirror, you'll see, or a laser pointer, the light bounces off of it and it goes in a different direction. I just did a project for my son's room where we wanted to paint a cityscape on his wall. And the thing is, how do you make a giant stencil or something to put on the wall? And the answer is yes, that's how you do it. But you want to tape that stencil up. The way that I did it was I made a model. I got a picture of a cityscape. I chose San Francisco. I cut it out, and I used light as a little projector. So I took a flashlight, and you can see it's projecting that on the wall. And what happens if I get this flashlight closer? And what happens if I get it further away from the picture? On the wall itself, it's going to look bigger, so it's going to be a little more blurry. Okay, I actually used the opposite, this cutout. And so I used where the light is shining. And then I just taped off that model, and I was able to get an outline of the city of San Francisco on my son's wall so that we could paint it. Some other things that you can try, you might have noticed I have a glass of water here. There's some interesting things that you can do with a glass of water because it kind of changes light. As light's traveling through it, something happens to the light. I want to know, what do you think is happening to this light? But let me show you. So I got this light, and we can see there's the shadow of my glass of water, and some of the light's passing through, and it's doing some interesting things with the lights. You can kind of tell where the water's filled up to, where there's not water. I think sometimes if you shake your water, it'll do a little light dance thing. But watch as I bring this closer. What happens once I get into the water? You see how the middle is getting really bright? And now my flashlight's right up against it. What is going on? Why is it doing that? That light is way brighter than just the light right here. When I have it up close, it seems to be really bright, almost like a lightsaber. You pretend my shadow's holding a lightsaber or something. Okay. So what do you think's going on there? It's kind of an interesting little experience. There's another one I have for you guys. So if you have a flashlight, that's a great thing to play around with. You get permission before you use your parent Sharpies. But a lunch bag, and if you color on a lunch bag, you can do some fun things with this. Like what happens if I'm going to use the side that doesn't have the Sharpie drawn on it. What if I hold this up against my face and I look through this one? It's kind of interesting. How come the world's red now? Or blue? Or yellow? How does that work? What's happening? What happens if I take this flashlight and I shine the flashlight through that yellow Sharpie, or that blue Sharpie, or that red Sharpie? What happens if I combine some of these colors together, have them overlap? Okay, lots of different experiments that we can do with light that I want you to just play around with. Tell us stuff that you noticed, that you observed, or that you have questions about when it comes to light. Another one that I think is really interesting and I might post a video on this because there's these guys on YouTube. They're called the slow-mo guys, and they'll record things happening in slow motion. And they did one about TVs. How do TVs work? And so I find that one really interesting. They get really close to a TV and they ask, how does it work? And how have TVs changed over time? It's kind of surprising because you might think, just like with colors, when you're doing watercolors or something, that you want to mix red, yellow, like red, blue, and yellow to get all the colors, but you don't. In order to get all the colors, those three primary colors are different. Can you guys figure out which primary color of light is different from the primary colors of pigment? I got another one for you. If you look, it's kind of hard to see. Look at my outline of my face right now. You see what's happening when it goes through my glasses? The glasses are clear, so light is passing through it, but look, the outline of my face is going, and then when it hits my glasses frame, it cuts in, and then it keeps coming in, and then it cuts back out. It's interesting. If you have glasses or your parents have glasses, do theirs do the same thing? Or what happens if you shine a light through glasses? I don't know if I can get the right spot. Oh, you see that? Look, there's like an outline around my frames of white light. Why is it doing that around my glasses? It's kind of funky. If I get close to something different happen. Anyway, I want you guys to just play around with the flashlight. Have some fun. Do some experiments. Maybe check to see what does light shine through, what doesn't it shine through. So for example, the paper kind of blocked the light, but some light still gets through. Okay, well, what about my arm? It's blocking the light. What if I go up here and I get into my hand? Some of that light's getting through. And if you look, my hand is like red, kind of crazy, on my cheeks. I don't know. Just play around, have some fun, explore, and let me know what you guys discover about light, because that's what I care about. I want to know what you guys are figuring out. Or maybe you have a guess on one of these experiments that we've done, or maybe you know what is the primary colors of light. On the check-in for this week, it's just going to ask a question, 2 questions really. What did you learn about light? And what do you still have questions about with light? And maybe we can explore some of those questions together that you have. And we'll find a way to share those discoveries together. I think I might do another video at the end of the week or at the beginning of next week that just recaps what we did for science this week. So let me know. And if you have a really cool idea about what to do with light, please share it, okay? Keep exploring, keep asking questions. The mystery science video that we watched about rainbows, that's another good one about light. So maybe I'll include a link to that one so you can rewatch it, where rainbows come from. Just keep looking for those opportunities to ask questions and learn something new, okay? I'll see you guys soon. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day, the rest of your week.